Hello everyone, welcome back to the Battlefield Siege Run here. We have another Pauper video for you today. I'm all smiles. I'm playing one of my all-time pet favorite decks. We're playing Red, White, Heroic again. Boros Heroic, whatever you want to call it. We've been working on this over the last couple of weeks, and this is a build that I've been settling on a little bit more after a lot of what you guys have said. And really, the main things that we've added in here is mutagenic growth, extra copy, the reckless charges, which I'll talk about, the study break, which is a learn for the learn lesson package in the sideboard, and we've just swapped around some of the lands here. So we're actually running 4 Abraded Bluffs, 2 Windscarred Crag. Very small number changes, but I kind of was thinking anyway, from this style of deck, we are the beatdown deck, and we'd rather deal 1 damage than gain 1 life. Originally, I thought we were kind of more pulled back mid-range build, but I think end of the day, how we can stack our lands in the Boros Garrison is we can still generally win on turn 4 and turn 5. We just need to play our mana appropriately, use our Mardu devotees well, and we still get the job done pretty well. So let's quickly talk about the number changes, and we'll just get straight into the games. And let me tell you, they were bloody beautiful. Anyway, alright, so we've gone up to this mutagenic growth because free spells are absolutely busted in Magic the Gathering, if you aren't aware. Solitude, whatever, Jitaxian Probe are busted. I wish I could run Jitaxian Probe in this list. But mutagenic growth gives us heroic, saves our creature from lightning bolts, Thraber charms, you name it. It's pretty good. So I was being a bit of a flog. We needed to run more, really. Reckless Charge I wanted to try out. Sometimes I found this deck was losing momentum, and then we needed something that just we could essentially flash back and just provide more of that momentum. So chucking that on anything like a 10th District or putting it on the Chrome Crusader and then giving that the menace ability with the How to Start a Riot, we can actually really get the gears going and the momentum continuing. And it's also a great thing to discard against like Refurbished Familiar and whatnot. So I wanted to try this card. The other one was Homestead Courage, which might be better, but I'm just mindful of all these dual pips and stuff like that. So this is what we're running currently. This is kind of this flex slot right here. All those are the same. All those 1-drops are the same. We're doing the 2 Emerge Unscathed, and we're putting 2 in the sideboard, which I'm actually kind of liking. We're just probably slowing down, taking out some of these mutagenic growths just to make things a little bit easier and slowing down the deck, but it's making it way more protective. And you'll see in one of the games how busted this card is. So thank you for whoever suggested that. Study Break is a really interesting card someone else suggested. I was thinking about it. There is some other learn spells from Strixhaven that kind of do similar things like buff and whatnot. This deck is really mana hungry. We're playing lots of spells. It's sometimes hard just to want to play like a 3 mana learn spell. So Study Break is good because if they tap out on their turn and we have some heroic spells, we can actually just Study Break. And someone read it in the comments anyway. You'll see it, how good it is anyway. But you can tap down 1 or 2 of their creatures, or you could tap down like 2 Chrome Crusaders or a Chrome Crusader in a 10th District, buff to the 10th District, scry a card, get a 1/1. And you think about that on an instant anyway, it's pretty good. Like, I'll get a +1/+1 counter on a creature, scry 1, get a 1/1 for 2 mana at instant speed. That's pretty good. Or let's tap down their blockers, and then we can do a massive How to Start a Riot on our turn just to finish them off. So Study Break, I think, is actually a pretty good one. It also takes the edge off all these red spells. And that makes me think maybe from a mana perspective, we can cut down on Mountains a little bit. Because a Chrome Crusader, we're not always playing on 1. Sometimes we're either doing it with a protection spell, or we're using it so we can get at least 1 payoff with it and get a 1/1 in play. Anyway, sideboard-wise, I've gone up to 1 Pyroblast. Sorry, whoever said in the comments, I know Pyroblast is technically better, but I don't know. It's minuscule anyway. I'll swap them around if I ever played in a tournament. But yeah, we're running 5 of these because I just like to destroy blue decks. And Terra's always a great deck, so we'll see if we run into those today. Wink, wink, we actually do. Everything else is kind of running along. The 2 Yip Yips I'm liking. We could change one of these Yip Yips for something else. I just like the idea of if we're drawing all these Guarding Voices, we can just chuck them onto like a 10th District Legionnaire and just like soup it up even more with the Yip Yip. We could run the sword, the Sucker Sword training to get the clue if we want that extra value. But it's hard to know right now. I'm pretty happy with where this sits. I think we want to maybe change the mana base a little bit as we move towards more white pips. Tell me what you think. And if you do enjoy these videos, please feel free to like and subscribe. It does help out a lot. We've seen a bit of growth lately. People have been liking these brews and a bit of difference from the normal Pauper decks people are playing. And if you would like to try any deck like this, please feel free to use my code SiegeRyan when you go into Mana Traders. You can get some money off after a couple of months, which is always great when you get to play Magic for a little bit cheaper. Anyway, I hope you enjoy these matches. I've really enjoyed this deck. I'll see you in the first one. See ya. Oh, look at all these rolls. All right, we're obviously on the draw. After the 3rd roll, that's fine. This is all good. All right, this hand is actually good as well. So we can just Raw Dog out is the Chrome Crusader on 2, and then we just follow up probably the Secret of the Way. It's a bit of a slower turn, but I think it's still going to be good regardless. I guess the thing is they are on the play, so they have a little bit more breathing room. From the play, this becomes a lot better. But yeah, we just have to get this Crusader out ASAP, I reckon. And hopefully we just draw probably the lesson, probably the 2-mana lessons that one of the best draws. And I'll land in that lesson. Or Cycling. We have a lot of good draws, to be honest. I never know if it's correct just to brainstorm during your opponent's turn on turn 1. It's probably better to know what they have first and stuff, but that's okay. So they might just fire off a... Well, that's kind of good as well. So we can play this Acheron Crusader, then we'll play the Abraded Bluffs. They can counterspell this if they want to. Makes me think we're probably playing against Terra. Yeah, they can counterspell that. That's fine with me. We can fix our mana and then we can do it next turn. More inclined to play the Secret of the Way, just to use our mana a little bit better. I do want this other Acheron Crusader to resolve. Alright, they're not doing anything. I feel we draw an untapped land. Emerge Unscathed. Yeah, let's just drop this. Oh, yeah, let's just use our mana. Yeah, let's just play this. I guess the option is we could just play the Acheron Crusader, but it's likely running into a counterspell. Doing another Brainstorm, a bit more selection. Again, the Brainstorm doesn't matter. Like, essentially this Brainstorm drew a card, but now with all their other drawing, it didn't... Like, they've drawn 2 cards since then, they've drawn the Brainstorm, so they just saw their top 10 a bit earlier, essentially. And then they didn't have a counterspell here. Wouldn't mind getting something on the board. It would be quite nice. Okay, they do have another counterspell. Okay. So now we get into the period where they might have a Terra now. This feels like just mono blue Terra, which I don't hate our matchup because we got this Acheron Crusader and whatnot. Yeah, this looks like Terra. Here it is. The old Serpent. At least we can make just mono blockers for days. So let's play the Acheron Crusader while we can, and then we'll just play the Guardian Voice on it as well. We get the cards that we want, and we'll be on our merry way. Yeah, I was wondering, they come in the F6 there. Like, they can, because there's no, like, you know, 1 mana spell that really matters here. I guess they have 4 Spike. Fantastic that resolves. You can see what I mean with, you know, we'll take How to Start a Riot, but, like, we just have blocks for days. I mean, we'll probably take 8 hit, but as long as this sticks around, it's hard for them to just deal with that. I might even... They have 3 cards. They also don't have a counterspell. I'm just thinking, I think we take this. We take 1 hit. Because if we draw a land, then we can Mutagenic Growth the Acheron Crusader twice, and then How to Start a Riot it, and it's got Menace. I don't think they can do much against that. And if they had a spell pistol to use it, if they had a counterspell, they would use it. So really, we have 1 unknown. So if we draw an untapped land, we are absolutely having our way with what we want to do here. That's not a good card. Come on, untapped land. Oh, yeah, that's good. All right, let's just go. I haven't even done the maths. Let's do the maths quickly, sorry. So it'll be 4, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 6, 9, 12. I think we just do it anyway, to be honest. And then we can just Emerge Unscathed it on another turn. But this is like... a lot of damage. And they can't flick us back. Give that Menace. Give all the other creatures +2/+2. Yeah, it's just mega lethal. Just attack everything. And then we have it. They block 1, 3, 6, 9, 17. They got a 1, so we do need to use these Emerge Unscathed to finish the draw. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Wait, why don't we get a... Did we get another token off that? How to Start a Riot trigger? We did. Okay, we did get a Soldier token. But we can just Unscathed. Like, they can't deal max damage to us. And they're not going to get enough blockers anyway with all these soldiers, so... We have 4 attackers, they have 3 blockers. So she wrote. Oh, okay. It's only right to put the pro spell on the Acheron Crusader. Get the job done. They don't run like unsummoned, so I guess they can make another creature if they have a brainstorm. So we'll just emerge unscathed, and then we can do it again if we need to. But yeah, we've wrapped this one up. This is where a Braided Bluffs has been good to swap around. Okay, look, we'll play land. They're never going to be running basic, so we'll play this. I'm doing it like this so we have Spell Pierce stuff back up, and we'll just name blue. This is lethal. Yeah, there we go. Let's play the sideboard. So it's good that they don't have any... Yeah, bring all these in. That's what I'm talking about. I like the Emergence Scares as well. I don't like Hero of the Pride as much. I think we just work with these ones. The Unscathes are good. I think just 2's fine as well, though. Because you've got these Red Blasts. I think we can just... maybe cut a Defiant Strike and bring it in unscathed. I think maybe even do keep all the creatures. Probably cut a Study Break because one of their creatures is Ward and it's not as good. Yeah, I think we just do this. You got to keep the Crusaders and the 10th Districts around. Just hope this is enough. I just think we can just cut creatures because we have the Red Blasts, and I mean this is fantastic that we get to use all 5 here. And I know I meant to kind of swap these around and have Pyroblast instead of Red Blast, but you know, it's the little things. Now we need the right mix now. So obviously they had a good hand there. Sadly this hand's not keepable. This hand's also not keepable, but they mulled as well, luckily, so we can have a nice fair go of it. It's funny because this hand's absolutely cracked if that was just like a tap land. We'll mull. They've kept 6. Look, we'll have to keep this. I'm keen to keep a Devotee. Happy to bottom this, and I do like Seeker of the Ways. I think it's going to be good. Maybe just bottom. Yeah, probably just do this. Do it like this. They're likely going to have a blue blaster for this Koran Crusader. Alright, they're casting the card Boomerang, which is cooking. That's awesome. Also nice. We'll just play the bluffs again, I guess, and pass. Like, Boomerang's good, but like, I mean, it holds me back a turn, and they get closer to playing their Terror, I guess. Hopefully we can just jam this Devotee out. We've got a lands, though. If they tap out as well, it might just be worth it to play the Koran Crusader. See, this screams a counterspell, so we'll just play one of our Devotees here. And keep this Crusader back for a rainy day. If this resolves, I'm looking for some Red Blast, essentially. And it's interesting. I mean, next time we can do it all if we want to. So likely it's going to be counterspelled, though. I want the Stud Land. I also want the Ancestral Anger. I think we actually bottom the land. I think we bottom both, actually. No, because we have this second land as well. So let's go top and then top the Anger, and then we can just go play this tap land. The Mountain's good as well because it's every colour with this Devotee. We're under no threat right now. They can play a Terror, but if we can resolve this Koran Crusader and get something off, we're in a good spot. So the Miller, Blue Blast, and a Revealed. Okay. Well, they can definitely play whatever the hell they want now. And then this is good because if they do counterspell the Koran Crusader, I guess we can't. We have to Defiant Strike. Okay, they're playing Serpent. This just tells me they have... They're playing 2 Serpents. Okay, this is good. We can resolve the Koran Crusader and just use and get some tokens in play. I think it's probably the best use of our mana. So we'll play this. You can see this is where it comes up now. That with the Mountain we can actually filter with the Devotee. I'm just working out the maths here. So it'll be 1, 2. So we're not blocking with that anyway. I think let's play the Devotee now. And let's try and get some good action. Reckless Charge. If they're attacking with both, then Reckless Charging a Secret of the Way is kind of good. But we need Red Blast, really. We just bottom both of these. I don't think they're really going to cut the mustard here. And we'll take a healthy 12. Hopefully we can just play a Seeker of the Way next turn and not run into a counterspell. They may not feel as comfortable attacking with both either because... Okay. And they're brainstorming. And they put 2 back, so they have 2 new cards, looking at fresh 4. So the 2 best cards are their 4. They've got plenty of mana. And a Cryptic Serpent is pretty bloody good. Hopefully they didn't get a Blue Blast. Because I want to save this mutagenic growth for the Seeker of the Way so we can actually trade up on these Serpents. I'll be very thankful if we can use our counterspell, play our Seeker of the Way. Let's just save a little... Yeah, let's just save a little bit here. It's just pretty free. And it's back to us. I'm really hoping they don't have anything like a counterspell here. The counterspell is the problem here, essentially. Let's just play this. See what they want to do with it. A Red Blast will be huge. Okay. Let's just pass. I think we attack with all of it, to be honest, because we're going to Defiant Strike and get another blocker, and then, you know, we can mutagenic growth or whatever. And we've got to start the combat somewhere, you know? And if they want to use a Boomerang or something like that. Their Brainstorm also locks them out unless they got Thought Scour there, which they obviously didn't. So they're just stuck on the top 4, which makes me think that they don't have any permission spells. Otherwise, they would have kept them in the 2. So, yeah, what could they possibly play here? Thought Scour. I mean, they could have a... See, there's something I would have kept on top. So they do another Thought Scour. Okay. So if we Defiant Strike becomes a 3/3, then we can make it, yeah, a 6/6. So let's just Defiant Strike on the Acheron Crusader. And just try and get... Oh, sorry, he wants to do all this first. I think we just likely just... Because this becomes a 3/3 and then we can make it a 6/6. And I'd rather be able to just... Well, I think let's draw off that as well. I think we just block again. I think that's kind of fine. I think we just do that. Take 6, and then we can just crack them with this Seeker of the Way. We can use this mutagenic growth if we want to get another blocker. Okay, we've got a Terror now. Yeah, 1 card left. So I must have drawn that off the Thought Scour. I mean, if we draw any kind of cycling effect now, I think we're in a good spot. Not a land. A land is what we didn't want. It's definitely on the back foot now. We'll play the other Crusader. If we drew like the Study Lesson or something like that, where we could just target both our Crusaders, get 2 more blockers, and you know, it gets a lot bigger. But even now, if we mutagenic growth our Seeker of the Way, it's not that good either. Yeah. Probably just a little too late. So we go to 7 and we block something else. Guess we can mutagenic growth 1. So we will do that. We get a 3/3 then. And they can double block the Tolarian and then we just jump block the other one. Guess I might have Boomerang is the other option. Can we afford to go to 1? The other option is if we do just draw a cycle, then we might be good to go. Block here like this. Go to 1. This, I feel like, is our way out. That's the thing. Let's block like this and keep our Seeker of the Way around. Yeah, let's just do that. I think we need to draw some, like, essentially study break and go from there. They're kind of out of gas. If we draw, if we just, hit some of our draw spells, I think we're in a good spot. Red blasting that, okay. Alright, now we're losing a lot. I don't think they have anything else, but yeah, if we just hit... Okay, they don't. They just have islands, but we need to get something now. Yeah, that doesn't do it. Let's just try another game. That's where like stuff like flashback effects do help. I'm finding these... I kind of wanted the study break now. It might be actually a way to get back a little bit more. I feel like they might take out the Mystic, maybe. And I guess we did cut... I'm just thinking, on the draw... Let's cut the Reckless Charges. I think they are probably the worst one. And probably like a Mutagenic Growth, we don't need to be as fast. And let's keep Defiant Strike and just escaped in. We're in the Blue Blast for that. Should we bring the extra Scathed? I think they're probably better than the Mutagenic Growths, to be honest. Let's bring in all the Scathed and cut another Mutagenic Growth. I just like the speed of it, you know what I mean? Got a Study Breaks. Alright, let's try this on for size. We've got to see this deck working fairly well. Look, this hand's good. We will keep it. We just pray they don't have a Blue Blast, really. Because then we can just go a Chrome Crusader, play a Guiding Voice, and just start the trend. And then we can start firing off everything, really. Might even just keep the Defiant Strike up. That's if it all survives. We'll play the Abraded Bluffs and just pray they don't hit a... go Island Go and just have a Blue Blast. Otherwise, we're pretty screwed here. Okay, Devotee's nice. So let's play the land. Let's play the Chrome Crusader, because if they do counter it, then we're more likely going to be doing some other stuff. We want to be scrying creatures on top. Yeah, looks like they do have a Blue Blast. That's unfortunate. Let's just play the Devotee and try and scry to another creature now. Otherwise, this is just going to be... Alright, we're going to bottom everything here. Just say go. So that is unfortunate. That's exactly what we didn't want to happen, but it does... Sometimes it just happens. At least you've got the Devotee to start some kind of engine. Maybe we're meant to run some Jolted Awakes because of this in the sideboard. Okay, they're just doing that. That's kind of fine. Like, we're not doing anything else specific. What I might do is Defiant Strike now, and then we'll do the Boros Garrison. Okay. Yeah, let's just play the Boros Garrison. Pick up the planes. Attack for 2. I mean, we can make this Devotee pretty big. We just put some Guiding Voices on it. Like, it's not terrible. Maintain Brainstorm. They're a little bit off doing anything scary straight away. They can, of course, just hit us with another Boomerang, which kind of sucks if they want to do that. I kind of want to save these Guiding Voices for something that's going to use them. Oh, brutal. Brutal, brutal, brutal. Okay, 10th District is genuinely good. I think in that case, we just want to cast it straight off? Or we use one of these Ancestral Angers to get some more stuff. But then we're not playing that next turn. Let's just play an Abraded Bluffs and attack. I mean, these Boomerangs have weirdly worked against our deck. It essentially works as a strip mine, or it just really slows us down. I'm not too scared if they just want a Terror. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're very close to just playing a Terror. But I mean, them hitting islands is good for them because they're not drawing those islands. And then Mental Noting. So that's good. So we're a little bit further away from a Terror. And they just milled 2 Terrors. That's brutal for them. It's a little bit of luck on our side. And that means, I mean, they're obviously looking for some threats. But now we can just play this 10th District pretty happily. And crank in. Just attack for 3, and hopefully they don't blast it, so we can play some Angers next turn on it, or some Guiding Voices. It's Probably better to test the waters with a Guarding Voice first, I guess, and then try and scry. But this 10th district, if they just tap out and play a Terror, they still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so they're pretty, like, they're going to be the cheapest they can. If I was them as well, I would just Blue Blast this now. So if they don't, that gives me a pretty good inclination that they don't have anything. Well, they have a Boomerang. Okay, Guarding Voice. Let's just test the waters. Because otherwise we need to look for another creature. They should let us do the scry first. They shouldn't just hit it. I'm probably going to port on top a creature anyway. They're snapping that. Okay. Fair enough. Let's just do the scry at least. We'll put that on the bottom. Nothing happens there. Let us do another... yeah, we've got so much of these. Although I want the toughness, extra toughness on that 10th district. Let's do an Ancestral Anger and see what we hit. Yeah, planes. So we're just going to do Boros Garrison, pick up the planes. We really did just need to cycle through to see what else we could get here. We're not going to attack. We can take a fair few hits. Hopefully we just draw a Seeker of the Way or something like that. If they're playing on the Serpent, I'm a little bit worried. They are really just going through everything though. Let's pop out this graveyard. They've been through 21 cards. How many threats they have? So they have 1, 2, 3. So no more Terrors. They have 1, 2. They have 2 more Serpents left in their deck. So they don't have a lot of threats. We'll keep around this Devotee because it might suddenly be something that we we need. And then I'm not as worried. Hang on, how many counterspells have they been through? They've done a blast. They've just done bounce effects really. Been pretty hot on just trying to cycle through. Oh, these boomerangs have been brutal. I like their boomerangs. So we will just play 10th district. See if it resolves. And I mean, we keep this Devotee around now because we've got another untapped land. We don't really want to go. Oh, okay. We're not blocking. Let's just attack. And now it gets really gross. They have no cards left, but they have a Terror. We don't have Jack really. We actually probably race them with our Guarding Voices and the Yip Yips. Maybe we do just do that. We have them kind of gone in 2 turns. Did they find one? Oh, just a Memory Mystic. Deep Analysis. Okay. Let's just go hard on the Devotee, I guess. I don't know how much they would have. And we want to just pick up the Yip Yips. And then we have them gone in 2. Guarding Voice. Yeah, let's just get Yip Yip. Player planes. So I have lots of graveyard stuff up right now. Let us just Guarding Voice again. Use our counters. Get another Yip Yip. And let's attack. For 3. And then for 4 blocks, we'll use a Yip Yip. This is very, I mean, this is why I wanted to run the Devotee, not like Faithless Looting or something like that, is that I wanted to have the ability to win the game with the creature another way if we needed to, that's what we're doing now. They have 3 cards, they could quite easily boomerang us. Looks like they're just playing a Mystic or something like that. Lorin Revealed, okay, that's good for us. They're probably looking for, I mean, again, Blue Blast isn't great here. We have a white creature. Ooh, they're attacking. We do have a Yip Yip. and an Abraded Bluffs and an Ancestral Anger. So both those cards are lethal. And I don't think they're running any 1-mana threat. And Brainstorm doesn't do it. So we have lethal now. They know that we have... Well, I think they know we have the Abraded Bluffs. I guess they only bounced one. Okay, that's good. Let's... Oh, there we go. Alright. Let's cast a Yip Yip. And let's attack for 5. Yep. And we'll play the bluffs. And that's why I put 4 in my deck. There we go. Alright, let's play another one. Alright, Calcifer. It's like, sounds like Calcifer from Brandon Sanderson. This hand, I'd rather more of the cycling draws here, but I think we keep this. And I think we still want to fire off this Devotee and look for pump spells. They've mulled to 6. All in all, I'm kind of happy with how this hand looks. Alternatively, yeah... We could just play the Crag, and then we can play the Devotee on the following turn, and then play the Boros Garrison, and then we have the Emergent Scathe for this 10th District. That might be better. Or... Yeah, let's just do this. I think we're obviously playing against Glintblade or Esper Affinity, so I think we just Devotee, look for a couple more pump spells, and just hold off on this 10th District so we know we can protect it first. Yeah, this looks like Glintblade. That's a cool as planes. Holy shit, look at that. Bloody train station, mate. Jesus. Yeah, this is definitely Glintblade. So we have to be mindful of Grim Bauble as well. So that's fine. Let's just go Mardu Devotee, and then we'll just pick up the Windsguard Crag. Look, Guarding Voice is good. Abraded Bluffs can go on the bottom. We have plenty of lands. I'm happy with a Guarding Voice. We've got plenty of creatures now to get the ball rolling. We'll pick up this one. I might even next turn just play a 10th District just to make them get rid of it, because we have other things. So I think that's probably something that we would do, actually, because 4 creatures is a lot for this deck. Alternatively, if they play Refurbished Familiar, we're discarding all the 10th Districts. I might even, because my option was I was going to play the 10th District using the yeah, you can get rid of that one. Now I have to be mindful of if they do want to hit us with another Tithing Blade. Tithing Blade's very good against this deck if we don't have Crusader. So I was just thinking about going tap land and playing this 10th District out. But also, there's a little bit of me that wants to play this Guarding Voice out now. Yeah, I think that's what we want to do. We don't need to hold off too much. And then just Guarding Voice it. And if they want to Tithe it, they can. We bottom that. We have plenty of lands now. Let's get... 5-banding less could be good, but I do like How to Start a Ride. It's just a fantastic card, especially once we get the Secret of the Way going. And let's attack for 4. I'm going to keep this Growth in hand because it's probably the first thing we're going to discard if it comes around to it. Their decks run a lot of removal spells normally. A couple cast downs, Tithing Blades. Also, scrying down to try and hit... Yeah, so they're just doing this, bring back Tithing Blade, recast Tithing Blade. Seems very good. Yep, in for 1, that's fine. Could have gone into 5-betting lesson is the other option there. Let us just play the tap land and play a Seeker of the Way, and then we'll keep up Emergent Scathed. And then hopefully I don't have any more bounce effects to use this Tithing Blade, and we can just make a huge 10th District Legionnaire with all our stuff and things. I like them drawing lands, that's good for us. And this means they've run out of removal now, so we can quite comfortably play this 10th District Legionnaire. We can put an Ancestral Anger on it, and we can keep protection up as well. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to play this Ancestral Anger, and then we can get in, keep up the protection spell. So all coming together. I could play that next turn with the Hero of the Pride and keep up a protection spell as well. Is that good? I mean, probably is, to be honest. And then we can Mutagenic Growth it as well. Let's put it on top. I want to see how it goes. And everything gets big as well when I do stuff. Alright, let's attack with everything. Bing bong. Yep. taking 4. Okay. I mean, I'm happy. We basically, no matter what, we can keep this. They can't use Blood Fountain, it's 4 mana. Just using the Blood token. That's a good sign. And you just need to churn through stuff. It's a little bit flooded, it looks like. It's kind of good for them not to see the Chrome Crusader either, because this deck generally runs Suffocating Fumes. Oh, they have another land. I mean, that's a good card, don't get me wrong. We're going to be getting rid of the Seeker of the Way. I don't think we need to rush as much with the other stuff. Let's probably playing that again. Yeah, sorry, Seeker of the Way. Let's get rid of you. Yeah, they crack him. So I think here we actually use an Emergent Scale. If we do this... Yeah, at least we know we can... I think we use the Emergent Scathe, to be honest. We have to be more aggressive. We have to essentially try and win next turn. And we might be able to... Oh, they have the cast down? Oh, I was way too aggressive. This is 6. 6, 6, 6. Oh, gosh. I was too aggressive. I was like, surely they wouldn't have anything, but they have the Thraben Charm. Do I do that? That's a shame. Can I get rid of any of their creatures? 6 damage. Just out of reach as well. Well, that card can go... I think I actually want to keep this on top. Let's go a little bit crazy. I mean, very unfortunate. I probably should have been a little bit better with my stuff, but we'll play this. And let's just crack in. If they want to block, we'll have to... Yeah, they're just blocking with that. Double block? Mayhaps. Okay. Alright. We can technically... I mean, it was the chance of them having one last removal spell for Thingo. This game feels like it would be a lot easier. Would have been a lot easier to win if I wasn't a Spud. But the problem was I was a Spud. All right, double Thraben Spectre doesn't bode well for us. We need an Emergence Unscared essentially. Yeah. Trample effect. Okay. So what is this? It's not lethal though. It's Emergent Scathed. It's 3, 6, 9. Oh, well there you go. I think it is lethal actually. So we do that. The flashback helps, or we could have done it with this. So protection from white. And then we do 3, 6. Oh, that's just heaps anyway. Put you on. Okay, there you go. This deck is forgiving sometimes when you keep in mutagenic growths. Pay 2. This just in, mutagenic growth is a very powerful card. And Emergent Scathe is good. We're definitely keeping more in. And then sadly we are going to take these Reckless Rages out though. They're not as good. Never punished. There we go. Alright. Well, Reckless Rage worked great there. I mean, it technically didn't matter though. But anyway, let's bring in this. The Technises I actually like with this matchup. The Hero of the Prides come out. They're not as good. If they're going to be doing what they're doing with all that stuff, this is what we need to do. And we will just cut the Reckless Charges. Maybe we'll keep one in and we'll cut a Growth. The Study Breaks seem kind of interesting and helps us get through blocks. Maybe do run those. Yeah, I think we'll go a little bit slower. We'll do this. Yeah, cut a charge, cut a mutagenic growth. You see, it won us that game. I mean, that's what it did. It was pretty good. I can't believe I didn't get punished for that. That's fantastic for me. Absolutely fantastic. We are going to lead. We'll keep this. They mold. we're going to have the exact same problem as we did last time, is they're going to play Tithing Blade. So hopefully what I'm looking for in my draws here is we'll play this Aquarium Crusader. There you go, protection spell. So now we're going to play the Devotee next turn, and we're going to be looking for a protection spell for this 10th district, and we're going to play really nicely with that. Refurbished Familiar, I think we just discard the charge, to be honest. These Ancestral Angers are too good in this cycle. And never going to be silly again. Ever again. So land, Guiding Voice is nice as well. Let's play the Devotee and just scry, see what we hit. So Braided Bluffs, I think we do need to land next turn. Put the Growth on the bottom, put this on top. Let's play this. I think while we can as well, let's make it white, and let's just use this. And I'm not going to get a right, I'm going to get the fire betting lesson, so we can actually get rid of this Familiar next turn, and we can play a tap land. So we can block these Raven Spectres for days. And yeah, feel quite comfortable with not getting hit in the air and them not blinking this all the time. That's going to be really frustrating. Okay, this makes me think they have Suffocating Fumes or something, so we're still going to... Well, no, it wouldn't be Suffocating Fumes, it would be... I don't know, it seems a bit odd. Oh, it's just the... Oh, of course, Skyfisher, okay. Bouncing. Yeah, that makes sense. Okie doke. Braided Bluffs. So we're probably going to just discard Ancestral Anger. Play this. I think we just fire one off anyway and get some damage in while we can. And then we can probably just discard this Mountain to the Refurbished Familiar. Them not... Okay, I was going to say them not drawing their third land's great, but also there's a land. So let's just spin the Mountain. See a Mountain. They can crack them for 3. That's fine. We actually have a clock kind of just as fast as theirs. Alright, let's just destroy this Refurbished Familiar. Such a fantastic card. I'm thinking they don't have anything that will bounce that. You know, these decks don't run Ephemerate. I kind of want to keep that around. Let's just go this and this. I'm not just going to play that Mountain. I know that sounds absolutely insane, but we have a better clock now. If they draw a Refurbished Familiar, we can discard this land. We don't really need more than 3 lands anyway. And it's really only punishes us if we draw a lot of cycling cards with this Ancestral Anger. And then worst case scenario, we can just hit them with a Reckless charge on the 10th District Legionnaire, play the other land, and then continue on our merry way. Okay, they're just exiling our Reckless charge, which makes sense. Again, this just gets around us dealing with... And what's this going to go with? Okay, well here we're obviously just going to go pro-white. Pro-black, sorry. That goes on the bottom, my god. We do not want any more lands. We just need black. They probably do get in. This 10th district's going to be getting in because it's... You know, we get the rebound of this. How good's this? Is this card good? I want to keep that on top. We'll keep our thing alive. Let's put on top. We'll draw that for turn. Let's name white. And then let's play Ancestral Anger on this. Let's get a little bit bigger. Scry again. Land goes on the bottom. Come on, draw something nice. That's nice. Oh, we can't actually cast on there. Do I put it on the Mardu Devotee? I don't hate that. I actually don't hate that. I am into it, because then, yeah, let's just do that. Because then we can get, I mean, firebending would be fantastic here. Let's get a Yip Yip. I guess How to Start a Right's kind of better. No, let's get Yip Yip. It works better for our mana. And let's attack with both. Everything's kind of cooking along at a good pace now. In for 10. They have to block as well, and their blocks aren't great. I mean, yeah. Did we technically have lethal? No, we didn't, because we had pro white, sorry. And now we have this other Emerge Unscathed. So this is what this deck does. It does can run away with the game a little bit. I'm glad I kept you around, Emerge Unscathed. Yeah, this deck's been sick. All right, let's do a wrap up. All right, quick wrap up time, everyone. This was really fun to play, and we only played a couple of matches. I played some scratchies though. I think the reckless charges were nice. They actually added a bit of, a bit more redundancy and ways to just keep the momentum going. I had a couple of scratch matches, and you probably saw anyway, when you draw those lands at those awkward times, you need that one more buff. It gets really awkward. So I did like this. I guess what we could think of is the Homestead Courage. I know some other people were talking about that as well, but I'm mindful of the extra white pips. And there's we are really base white. We could almost cut red in a way, but like it's obviously just too broken with the lesson stuff. All the good lesson packages we want is how to start a riot, 5-8 lesson stuff is just too good. I am pretty happy with everything, and the numbers that I was curious about was Emerge Unscathed. I think what I realized now is we bring them all in and take out mutagenic growths, because then it acts a bit more like a more of a slower build, but Emerge Unscathed overturns, like it stops their spells, it gets our creatures through, and it helps with those gummed up board states. So I think Emerge Unscathed is a good card. I'm actually happy with the 2 in the sideboard currently. We'll see how that goes. Things that didn't really shine out too much, I would say, is probably we didn't really get to see the Tethmis High Priest. There were only a couple times where I was like, oh, we should bring this in, which was against the Glintblade. But even in scratch matches as well, I didn't feel like Tethmis was what we want to do all the time. So this could be something else. Like, we really want, when we're using Heroic and we're targeting, we really want to do it to either just widen the board or make a giant 10th District Legionnaire. So that's kind of like where we want to sit. So when we change that, it gets a little bit more awkward. But I think we'll still test it a little bit more. I was really missing a second 5-betting lesson there. I think it would have been maybe better than another Yip Yip there. But also we probably had them dead on board. So, I don't know, food for thought there. The mana base, I think, is a little bit better. The 4 Abraded Bluffs is significantly better than the Windsguard Crag. I know it's only the 1 damage, 1 life. But you saw that it can win games anyway in that first Terra match. But I guess it's probably not too different, the gaining life and losing 1 life. But when you think about who's the beatdown, I know like you probably heard that before, but who's the beatdown? We are the aggro deck. We do want to win in those earlier turns, even though we got this tapped mana base, that we want to finish them off earlier. And also I think genuinely with these Windsguard Crags is that with the Seeker of the Way, now we don't have these Spirit Links, the Seeker of the Way, we actually have ways to gain so much life. And you've seen before anyway, we've attacked and we're on 38 life, and we're not worried about winning races. We can beat people in races generally as long as we're not silly with our spells. You saw how I got punished by not keeping up the Emerge Unscathed for the 10th District Legionnaire. That was easily something I could have avoided. And it's just something with these heroic builds is where I was weighing up the cost benefit of just going, this unlikely to have another removal spell. They were sandbagging that card for a while. I just thought they had no land in their hand really, and they were just going to crack a clue or something like that. So that's on me, but that's part of this deck is you have to decide when to put the risk in and then also when not to. And I'm not saying I'm right, but it's also, you can't play safe sometimes with this deck. That's just how this deck functions. Even if any other format where you're playing Heroic, you sometimes can't play safe. You just have to hope they don't have it. And then sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Anyway, thanks for watching. It was really fun. I'll see you in the next one. See ya.